Hi, this is Kelly Hammond, and I've been involved in martial arts since 2004 and teaching self-defense classes since 2009. I've been doing those classes in Buffalo, New York, as well as Alberta, Canada, as well as now in Reno, Nevada. And one of the concerns that I've always had while teaching these classes, and before the classes anyway, also is child safety. And one of the reasons why is that as a child I was abused, as well as I have other family members and friends who have been also. And so it's something that's dear and near to me, the safety of children and keeping them safe, and how to do that as adults, parents, guardians. And so I wanted to do a book review today, and the name of the book is called Public Places, Safety in Public Places, Living Well series, and it is by Lucia Raatma. And the copyright is 2005. So in general, it's an okay book. However, I believe that for young children, it may scare them a little bit because it talks about dangerous situations, and it might actually scare them into being afraid of many different public areas as well as many different people. And so it's a book that I probably would not recommend, especially for younger children. However, there is a story in the beginning of the book that I really enjoy, and I'd like to share that with you right now. And so it's called At the Amusement Park, and I'll be reading straight from it right now. It was a warm summer day, and Matthew was excited. He and his family were spending the day at the amusement park, and he couldn't believe how many rides there were to choose from. He'd already ridden the roller coaster and the carousel. Maybe the Ferris wheel was next. Hey, Mom, what about the... But Matthew looked around, and his mom was not in sight. There were crowds of people around him, but he couldn't see anyone from his family. His dad was wearing a bright yellow baseball cap, but he couldn't spot him anywhere. Matthew had just stopped for a minute to look in one shop window. Where could his family have disappeared to so quickly? Matthew started to get scared. He couldn't recognize anyone around him. What if his family left him all by himself? What if they left? They wouldn't do that, he reminded himself. Now think. Just then, he remembered what his dad told him and his sister when they arrived at the park. He said, if anyone gets lost, let's all meet back at this big clock right across from the ice cream stand. Okay, Matthew thought. Now, where was that clock? He calmly started walking toward the entrance of the park. He didn't cry or call out for his parents. That would let strangers know he was lost. Then he spotted an information stand, so he walked over to it. Hello, he said to the young woman wearing a park uniform. Could you tell me where the big clock is? I need to meet my family there. Matthew was a little scared, but he tried not to show it. Of course, the woman said with a big smile. In fact, I'll walk you there myself. My name is Alyssa. She told the older woman behind the counter that she'd be right back. As they walked toward the clock, Matthew told Alyssa he'd gotten lost. She nodded. That's what I thought. But you are being very brave about it. Above the heads in the crowd, they saw the big clock, and there it was, his dad's bright yellow cap. Matthew, his mom called. Thank goodness. Yeah, Matthew answered as he ran up to his family. I guess you guys got lost. Everybody laughed. Then Matthew's dad spoke to Alyssa. Thanks for helping out, Matthew. No problem. He did the right thing by coming to the information stand and remembering your meeting plans, Alyssa answered. Good job, Matthew. As she walked away, Matthew turned to his mom. Okay, how about the Ferris wheel next? So the things about this story that I liked are that the family had a plan of emergency, so that if and I believe that every family should have this plan. If you have children that are younger as well as older, is that if somebody gets lost, that this is going to be our meeting place, no matter what the emergency could be. So one, I mean, if there was a fire in the house, or if there was some type of natural disaster, or if they just got lost in a supermarket, you should have an emergency plan so that if the child does get lost, no matter what the situation is, and no matter how old the child is, because the child could be 3 or older or teenager or for the family. So I love the fact that they had a plan and they expressed it to that child so that the child understood exactly what that plan was and how to enact that plan. That's the thing that I really liked about this. As well as the thing that I didn't like about this is the expression of strangers. So we often tell our children not to trust strangers. The problem is that we as adults talk to strangers every single day. The cashier, the bank teller, the mailman, the whatever. Everybody around us are strangers, and yet we as adults are speaking to these strangers. And our children don't understand what the word stranger means. So that's one thing. And so later on in another video, I'll talk to you about another book series that I actually believe could help you as parents to be able to start conversations with your children that can be much more effective than this book itself, because this book, as it continues on, could actually scare a child into being afraid of everybody that they don't know, as well as every place that they're not familiar with. So again, it's Kelly Hammond, and look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a great day. And if you want to ask questions or write a comment below, you're more than welcome, or private message me.